What's going on, guys? It's Sensei Adam, and today we're going to be discussing an extremely overpowered strategy for the map Hard Rock Mine on Smash and Grab. Now, this is one of my favorite Smash and Grab maps just because you can have a bunch of different team combinations work on this map. It's just so well laid out that even some short range characters can do really good. But we're going to be discussing a specific strategy that we discovered that works really well. We even beat some top players such as Keith and Jeffrey using this strategy. It just works really well, and that is Pam, Rico, and I'm playing Darryl right now. So what makes this map combination so good and so deadly? Well, it uses the normal 3 comp that you want to use, which is to use 1 aggro, 1 gem carrier / mid, and 1 support character. Basically, if you don't know what the terminology means, aggro means aggressive. Like your character that just stays towards their spawn, tries to keep them spawn trapped and preventing them from taking control of the middle. Mid or gem carrier is exactly where it sounds. It's the person that stays in the middle and grabs the gem. While the support character usually just stays in the back, and it's like usually a longer range character or one that has a good attribute that just stays back and does some damage. Alright, so let's go ahead and discuss everybody's positioning, because for this strategy, it's really important. If you want to make it work, you go into the exact position that we're going right now. So first, let's go ahead and discuss Darryl. You want him to be your aggro character. Basically what that means on this map is you want him to go into this L-shaped bush and prevent them from taking control of the middle. Just stay here for as long as possible and just give them hell, basically. Just prevent them from going to the middle, try and keep them spawn trapped as much as possible, keep them focused on you, so then your teammates at the bottom over there can focus on collecting the gems. And now, Pam, she's your mid / gem carrier, so her job is to stay in the middle, collect most of the gems, and just stay there, keep her healing station, stay alive. If she feels threatened, you just go back. But if you see an opportunity to go up and help me, like as the Darryl, kill people, she can go up and just do a few damage to them. And last but not least, of course, you have your Ricochet. Now, he's your support character, so you basically want him to stay in the back a little bit more towards the right and just shoot towards the wall. For this map, he's just really good because there's just so many walls on this map that you can bounce your shots off. So if you have a max Rico, you can use him to the fullest advantage and get those extra 80 damage off while you use your bounce shots. It just works out really well. And if you guys notice here, we're playing against some top players. I believe Keith right now is the #1 player in the world, which is crazy that we were able to beat him. I think we were able to beat him twice yesterday, which was just crazy. And that just goes to show how good the strategy is, because you know how tough it is to beat these guys. Since they're all above 700, they must have like at least an 80% or so win ratio. So that's really good. But now what I'm basically going to go over is all the details that you want to go for this strategy. All the matchups, all of the positioning. So what I did there at the start was just give you like an introduction of, if you didn't watch the rest of this video, you could probably use this strategy and do pretty good with it. But if you want to go way advanced and win a lot of games with it, just stick around so you can learn a lot more in detail. Alright, so the most important thing, and I cannot stress this enough, is your starting position. And this goes for any strategy that you use on this map. You always want to have your aggro player go left, your middle player go middle, of course, and your support character go to the right. It's just really important. And any character that you play, if you play Darryl or Bull or Primo as your aggro, make sure he goes to the left. It just gives you a lot better positioning to sneak into their base. Because as you see over there on the left, you can just sneak into that bush and go right into the L. While with the other positionings, you just cannot do that. So make sure your aggro left, your gem carrier go to the middle, your support go to the right. And it's really important for your support to go to the right, because your support's job is to stop them from flanking you. You're going to see a lot of people trying to flank you, go aggro, and go into your base. So your Rico's job is to shoot into that gap on the right and prevent them from going to your base really fast. That's just his job. So now that we discussed positioning, let's go ahead and discuss every single brawler in detail and what you want to do with each specific brawler. So first off, let's go with Darryl. Of course you want to try and sneak into their base, but early game, you're usually going to be met by their support, especially in higher level games if they know what they're doing. So you usually want to stay right here in the middle and go towards their mid. If you sense that there's nobody in their base, you want to go straight into their base. It doesn't really matter. It's just really important that you find your way into their base. And once you're in their base, you want to think to yourself, did they see me coming in here? Because it's really important. If they did, you want to try and be as sneaky as possible. You don't want to go in a straight line and go into the middle of the map of their base. That's because a lot of people are going to expect you to go straight over there and just start pre-firing that way onto the left. So what do? Sometimes I just sneak around, hang behind that wall over there, the little four-corner wall, and just wait for them to use their ammo and just think that I left there or I'm not even there. And sometimes they don't even think I'm there. Like they just fire there, don't see I'm there, and then just go ahead and go to the middle. You can stay there for like 10 seconds or so, and sometimes they're just gonna give up and start firing towards the middle. So when they do that, you can go ahead and just trick them. And once you see an opportunity, like you see that you can just sneak up on them, do a lot of damage, boom, you just go down, do a lot of damage, done. But on the flip side, you do have to be careful, because you have to be wary that if you do go down, you're going to give up your position, and then they're going to know you're there. Even if you go back into their base, they're going to start firing at you as much as they can. So you have to think, is it worth it for me to go into the middle right now, or is it more worth it for me to wait here for them to go with the gems into their base and I just snipe them and destroy them really quick? And last thing about Darryl, which is why I liked him over Bull, is if say your team dies in the middle and you're in their base and you have your super loaded up, what you can do is just use your super all the way down into the gems that your team dropped and recollect all the gems. It's just a really cheeky way to get back your gems so the other team doesn't collect all the gems that your team just dropped. Alright, next up, we're going to be discussing Pam. But her job is pretty simple. You just want to be the gem carrier. Basically just going into the middle, using your shots, and whenever they're really low, you can just push up and grab those gems. As for the healing station, what I usually want to do is just put it behind that wall over there, the one with the little purple crystal. That is if they don't have a thrower. A lot of the times on this map, you're not going to be seeing them having a thrower because there just isn't that many walls. If they have a thrower, they're going to be at a significant disadvantage, and your Darryl can usually just clean them up and prevent them from even going towards the middle. But as a Pam, you have to be cautious. You have to go around and keep looking when it's a good opportunity to go to the center so that you won't lose all those gems. A lot of the times I see people as gem carriers just recklessly go into the middle to just grab those gems. No, just be careful. See when your teammates are around, when they can cover you getting those gems, and just be smart, looking for those opportunities to go in. If you're not good with Pam or you don't have a Pam on your team, you could replace her with Poco, but the issue with Poco is that he's a little bit more short range, while the middle of this map is a more long range. So I just think Pam serves a lot better for your team, especially for this map. Now, last but not least, of course, we're going to be discussing Ricochet. Now, Ricochet is a really important piece to this puzzle, especially for this strategy. Now, the reason why is he's your support character. He has to stay on the right most of the time, as you're going to be seen by the gameplay. So, what is his job? Like I mentioned before, you want him to stay on the right to prevent their aggro from flanking your base. And the reason for that, if they get to your base, it's so easy for their aggro to just stay in your base and flank your gem carrier, which is your Pam, and it's just going to wreak havoc on your team. If they go behind, it's like game over. It's really hard to recover from that. So just make sure to have your Rico always checking their aggro. Make sure to keep them in the middle and not at your base. That's going to get you a lot more W's than if they're in your base. Other than that, his job is pretty simple. Just do as much damage from range as possible. And you want to utilize as much of the walls as possible. That is because this map is just filled. It's like Rico's playground. There's just so many walls to bounce shots of. It's not even funny. So if you have his star power, you can bounce shots all over the wall and you can do a ton of damage from it. So guys, let's go ahead and discuss some matchups that you might go against when using this strategy. Now for this map, it's a lot of a wild card. There's just so many different brawlers that you can use on this map. I don't think you can prepare like for a specific matchup. But what you're gonna see a lot is either a bull, primo, or a darryl trying to get into your base. So like I said, have your Pam and your Rico always stay on your right flank, watching out for them, prevent them from going to your base, and you should have an easy matchup. So another thing you're gonna probably go against a lot is either a poco or a Pam. That is because they're just really good on this map, and they usually have a gem carrier. When you have that, you want to have your darryl go behind them, and when you see an opportunity to just destroy their gem carrier, just do it. Go behind them and just boom, snipe them. But like I said before, make sure to wait for them when they go really close and you know you can kill them in 3 shots. That way they can't have reinforcements just go behind you and try and kill you again. As for their support though, they're usually carrying a Rico because he's just really good on this map. But for him, you usually just want to try and juke him as much as possible. It's hard to do that, but you just want to try and keep your HP up and not let him just hit some chip shots off you so you stay up on HP. But anyways guys, I hope everybody enjoyed this tutorial video. We went really successful with this strategy. I believe we went like 30-2 with it. It's just so overpowered and so good. But if you did enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. But I'll see you guys next time. Peace.